Just gonna make chat cringe, but whatever.
9/11, 9/11, Twin Towers got sent up to heaven, Gerbert. Okay. Rich girl grabbing on my meat, she a stakeholder. I'll be always smoking on that crack, I can't stay sober. I'm on a private jet, you got a layover.
Wait, he said layover. What the fuck?
If she don't look like Gio Scotty, I don't know her. Yeah, life got ups and downs like a roller coaster. I'm so rich, might buy a diamond encrusted toaster. Yeah. I'm moving through the streets like a gopher. I was looking at the Twin Towers and they exploded them. Gerbert. Oh yeah. Welcome back to the slop
All right, hold on. Let me check.
Topic. Two middle-aged scoozies complain about young men not wanting to work or do anything after everything was taken from them. On the nationally syndicated news network Fox News.
I know chat noticed the pride flag in the background.
As a young man, I don't tend to watch the news that much. I get my news from anonymous online shit posters, the tasteful way. But, you know, every once in a while something comes across my field of vision, I go, wow. And, you know, whenever two childless women in their 30s and 40s want to lecture me about what I'm doing wrong,
his gimmick is that he flies all sorts of flags, and people are begging him to fly the Nazi flag, obviously, but I don't think he could on YouTube, unfortunately.
My ears up, I sit my black ass down and I listen. So this is called The Rise of Stay-at-Home Sons. Now, I've talked about stuff like this before, but let's see what these two snow bunnies have to say about it.
But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. They did much the same thing with quiet quitting, where you can go to work and do less, and if you call it quiet quitting, it's somehow better. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out
caused
there
by feminism.
They want to have kids. They want to have stable families, but there are a lot of young men.
That's just not true. That's just a straight up lie. I mean, she's a projecting post-wall roasty whore. I mean, I've seen her name a bunch of times. But no, the only women who want to settle down and have kids are over 30, you know? When their fucking egg carton is nearly empty, suddenly they've decided that, you know, they can put aside their career or whatever after they're already a decaying hag.
Men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash, and therein lies a big part of the problem.
Well, and also with the rise of AI.
Oh, the cue broke. Classic broken break. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't.
AI dating, as they call it, which is sick.
It's not AI dating. People are just talking to chat bots because they're lonely. That's not dating.
Easier and perhaps more attractive for these types of individuals to remain behind closed doors. And what does that do to families and young women and dating?
So now you got people that want to literally stay inside and play video games and have AI girlfriends, and that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society.
Yeah, it has absolutely nothing to do with women at all. It could never be half the fucking population's fault. Yeah, you fucking whores did nothing wrong, for sure. I mean, if your body count is like quadruple your fucking age, maybe you have a problem, you fucking disgusting piece of shit. But, yeah, whatever.
Time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
All right. Very, very interesting stuff here. So a lot of young men are dropping out, giving up, and not working. This is no secret. What does Fox News have to say about it? It's because, they say, young men are feminized. They're just being bitches. The feminism problem, she says, is the feminization of men. There are lots of young women out there who want to start families. But there are lots of young men out there who just want to sit in mommy's basement and order DoorDash. This is also why there's declining birth rates, they say, because men are just these losers. Now, the first thing is some of this is just completely false. Most young men want to have children. Most young women do not. It's like 40% of young women that want to have children and 60% of young men. That's pretty crazy. That's from Pew Research. I've done a video about it before. Our survey finds that young adults who have never been married say they want to get married someday. A smaller share say they would like to have children.
I'm honestly shocked the woman one is as high as 40. It really doesn't seem like it.
Someday. Young men are more likely than young women to say they want to have children. 57% versus 45%. And this difference is actually even greater because we have this not sure section over here where women said not sure more, 4%. So if you tally all that together, it's a 16% difference. That's pretty significant. Less than half of young women say they want to have kids. I'm no zoologist, but if you know how nature works, males display and women choose. This is the case with humans. The choosers don't want to have children. So that's why there's declining birth rate, because these hoes are fried. They're operating under this wacky assumption that these hoes aren't fried. Now, there are some good chicks out there. There are some good quality broads, some good huzz, some good quality thotties. But, I mean, you may as well be looking for an Asian. You may as well be looking for an Asian at, like, wherever Asians don't really go. You may as well be looking for, like, a Vietnamese basketball player. One might exist, but I don't know. And here's a little black pill about,
That's
that
cute
40%
dog in
of
background.
young women who do want kids.
I don't think I've seen his dog before, and I'm just noticing. You just see in the little corner there.
The trad girls, there's no real trad anymore. They're on the internet. So even the ones that want families, they're going to be much more selective, much more hypergamous than an actual woman from a century ago. Men aren't giving up on work just because they're lazy bums who want to sit at home playing with a worm and ordering DoorDash. They're doing that because they can't get jobs. Okay, here's why men are not working.
And can't get bitches. Yeah, can't get jobs, can't get bitches. That's why they're doing it. I love how the woman brain is insane, where it's like you can literally reverse cause and effect. Why would men willingly choose to do nothing? Like, you would have to be retarded to think that men, if given a choice, would choose to be miserable and lonely and do nothing of value for society. That is mind-blowing. That is fucking absolutely retarded. But this is, seething ass over 30 bitch, who, Chad pumped and dumped her one too many fucking times. So she had to run her whore mouth on live TV. And, hopefully people are bullying her. Hopefully. In Minecraft.
Working. It's very simple. There's no incentive structure. The money's not worth anything. You can't buy a house with it. Men used to be able to support a whole family off one income. Now they can't even support their own damn self.
What's wrong?
I mean, they could get by, but not enough to actually build wealth or own anything. It's paycheck to paycheck, basically. Saving little pennies. Oh, put it in the S&P. In 30 years, maybe you'll have some. In 30 years, this whole...
lay down?
Who knows what shit's going to look like in 30 fucking years?
It's okay.
Are you kidding me? Can't build wealth. The dating market is broken. They're not working for a family. If you don't meet somebody young, if you don't meet somebody in like a very social environment, you could try asking a girl at work. That could go bad. If not, you have to use all these dating apps. That's a nightmare. Also, like half the jobs are slop. They don't even do anything. That's not even a joke. But even if all of that wasn't true, the job market...
We're finding Breaker's game so fast. Did the queue fuck up again? Or showed that, I mean.
Market itself, young men can't get a job. They're being replaced by women, by imported people. Take their jobs away, then go, why aren't you working? You're being a bitch. What do you mean? You took the job. The only jobs you can reliably get are like labor, like hard labor that many women won't do. But then you're out here working, breaking your back. Still
Hold on. Tiny Conspiracy, thanks, $5. How many experience points do I give for telling Tommy
be able to build actual wealth? If you're paying rent, if you're paying for all this stuff. Some of these manual jobs you can make above 6 figures, but that's...
He should pick up his dog.
Used to be rich. Now that's just what you need.
I literally just want to see him pick up his dog now on during the video.
to be able to actually purchase a home. And even then, you still have to somehow contend with meeting women when you're just working with dudes at what, like a construction site all day? Somehow trying to meet a girl and then building a family after all day. It's just like a crazy line of hoops you have to jump through just for shit that should be normal.
It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
It's like, that's gone. All these conservatives have to offer is this normalcy bias. Just giving this same like browbeating men repeated advice for an order that has vanished a long time ago. You can't just tell young men to work when they won't.
Yeah, that's oh, look, the dog's even doing something cute. What's he doing?
What are you doing?
Look at that.
They can't offer anything real, any actual advice.
Anyway, I'm more of a cat person. Sorry, lol. I'm sorry for your brainworms.
They just got to keep on working, keep on doing these things, even though the moral duty, responsibility of a man to work is tied to authority, to things you get, purchasing power and a family. If you don't have these things, this is very simple. Why would you work if these things?
Yeah, the simple question is, what are you working for? What are you working for? Simple question. Now, of course, the woman answer is always something retarded, like, oh yeah, you'll just get a woman by working hard or something. It's like, yeah, okay, shut the fuck up, bitch. You wouldn't date him, like whatever dude you're even talking to. And you just cope by saying, oh yeah, I'm sure someone will. Some ugly, obese, blown out roast beef ass. Anyway. Yeah, you get the point of what I'm saying. No, yeah, men, no, of course Zoomers are quiet quitting. Why would they work? Like, legitimately, you have to fight for something. There's nothing to fight for. You're not fighting for your country. You're not fighting for a family. They're not fighting for money because the jobs don't even give you that much money. And even if you have money, what are you going to do with it? If you're someone like me, the money doesn't mean anything.
Harder to get. If all these things are just like impossible mode, nightmare difficulty, people are just going to be like, fuck it. So men aren't dropping out of the workforce because they prefer just sitting at home gooning and ordering DoorDash. They're doing that because they've said fuck it. Like they've tried, or they've looked around and they've seen things and they've gone, it's just like not worth it. You have to try 100 times harder for very small results. So this whole men aren't working because of this feminization.
Hold on. Is the Q fucked again? Tired than I am right now because I drank a lot of caffeine because I wasn't feeling it earlier, which is not good because I have to go to sleep early because I need to try and make that 1 p.m. Show, the woman-led games. I just want to react to it and say something misogynistic. Is that so bad? But I don't know. It could be. I want reactions because I want the video to be interesting. You know what I mean? I feel like every Summer Games Fest video is.
That's an interesting angle. It's an interesting rhetorical angle. These conservatives, they don't look at the actual underlying problems. Oh, they're just doing it because they're lazy. Why are they lazy? Why do they feel so demoralized? There are real serious underlying things going on here. Can you just go out, get a job, get a wife, get a house? Can you just get back to basics? The option is actually gone. So this feminization, oh, you're being feminine, is a tool they use. It doesn't make sense because being a man isn't valued. You be a man and you work harder for nothing. And I would watch very closely this rhetoric. If by happenstance we stumbled, whoopsie.
I'm not even convinced that like a modern woman knows what being a man even means, like conceptually. Is it just being Chad? Because it's not necessarily being handy. I mean, yeah, for like old boomer women, like if I asked my mom what does being a man mean, I'm sure she'd describe, being like handy, muscular, blah, 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 stuff like that. But like, what the fuck do Zoomer women think when they think of a man? I genuinely. Like, it's probably going to be some like gay virtue signaling platitude slop because they don't even fucking know.
Into a war. And, you know, young men haven't been signing up for the military, and they say, we need these people, we need to draft, we need to go to war. This same card's going to be pulled out. Oh, you're being feminine.
They think of David
They're
Bowie.
going to do that. Here's another one. I had saved. Stay-at-home sons here to stay.
Some time how Democrats have alienated young men. Okay, now speaking of young men, my own sons better tune this out. A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. Stay-at-home sons. It might be an improvement. Don't we keep hearing, Smug, of like stay-at-home 30-year-olds? Like dudes that haven't moved out by the time. This is 20 to 24-year-olds. I'm not as concerned about them as I am as the failure to launch 30-year-olds, which I think that's also a real thing. Like, grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
That's the whole thing.
It's that easy. It's that fucking easy. Just go get a woman. Where are these women? Where are these women I can go get? I need. Can I shop at the woman's store and just grab one? That'd be a lot fucking easier, I think, than having to deal with any bullshit. I just want. People are gonna say mail order bride or something. I mean, like something that isn't a scam. You know, like I go to the store, get an American woman off the shelf. You know. Yeah, build a bitch. Thailand, those are boys. Yeah, the Southeast Asia, Max. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, the average bug doesn't really. Oh, the queue fucked up. Okay, hold on. I guarantee Fox News retards would say to like cold approach women unironically. They would. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. Like, nothing is appealing to young people. Like, what's gonna happen when boomers die? Is anyone gonna watch television anymore? Because it's only boomers watching CNN or Fox News, ABC, NBC, etc., etc. There's no young people watching this shit. It's you fuckers aren't even talking to them. You're talking to a bunch of senile retards who haven't moved beyond, you know, the year 1985. Like, it's like, I like, genuinely, this shit, it is only good for rage bait. That is all it's good for, is rage bait. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing.
That sequence of events, which is just normal, the normal life, is like a Herculean feat in 2025. And this is for serious foundational reason.
I'll give them
buying women off the shelf. Use code synthetic man for 25% off all hermaphrodites.
A month ago, that 90%
That's a good deal.
of positions that went to companies in the S&P 500 went to non-white males in this country over the past 5 years. Yep. That was stunning to me. It's stunning. And the reason for that is because we had an era of DEI, which was pushed.
Yep,
and it was basically excluding. There's a reason why Democrats are like, why can't we communicate?
At least it said
it's not a
DEI.
communication issue. It's a policy issue. You demonized a group of people. You told them they weren't wanted.
Yep.
And so I see this as somewhat of an outgrowth of that. So I can give a little bit of grace. At the same time, that era is being wiped clean. You have an administration that believes in...
No. Enough with this horse shit. Trump is not like some magic man who solved all the fucking world's problems.
For the first time, it's shocking. Equal opportunity. Can you believe that? Yeah. Everyone on the same footing, best person wins the job. But I think when you see this administration, you see the policies, it's already gotten the economy going, it's got people excited. I think young men aren't going to have to worry about being stay-at-home sons. They're going to be out there getting it done.
Yeah. For what? For what? Again, no one's going to address the woman problem. You know why? Because they'd lose voters. Because... shockingly, white women voted for Trump. Not really sure why, but that did happen. So, of course, you're not going to alienate a significant amount of your voter base. You're not going to just start shitting on women and be like, this is your goddamn fault. Because, one, this is all going according to plan. Both sides want to reduce the population, replace us with minorities, you know, as we've talked about a million times. So, No, none of these people are fighting for us. Nobody's gonna fucking fight for us. Nobody. That's why, like, I know chat usually agrees with me when I bring this up, but, you know, sometimes, you know, people might not like the answer. But I've said a bunch of times, like, yeah, you know, when we talk about these hypotheticals where it's like, would I choose, you know, whatever absurd thing, or would I choose loving wife and, you know, a family. I pick loving wife and family every time because I'm going to choose my happiness because I don't think it's going to fucking happen. You know, that in itself is like the ultimate pipe dream. I'm sorry that I have to sacrifice humanity to do it. But, like, that's the reason I continue to exist. I don't fight for some grand purpose as much as people want. You know, they've joked over the years I should... Well, it's not a joke. There's some schizos who really thought I should be the leader of some kind of movement or something. It's like, of course I'm going to choose, like, my only chance at happiness in this world over whatever nonsense people think is going to result in... That dude fucking died fast to Goldo.
That's true. Let's hope it is true that it's...
All right. Well, that's just kind of like political slop. Oh, the DEI took away the jobs, and now Trump's back to save everything. Oh, he's going to get rid of it. Over half a century of constant inflation, multiple financial...
Oh, holy shit. Cordless Steak 36, thanks to the 20 gifted memberships. And then 10 months of membership. DSP, wish he had this amount of support. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure DSP wish he had most YouTubers' support. Fuck. Speaking of which, I never made my 1-year membership bet.
Crashes, BlackRock, 2020 pandemic, constant war machine, birth rate completely falling off a cliff around 15, 20 years ago, mass immigration, the internet messing with dating. Hey guys, we just fixed DEI.
There's 3 of them on SCM.
Hey, your dog
not for half that. Were you watching the same fucking game I was? Or after I went down, I mean. And then I died 5 seconds after that.
Ran out the front door and he got hit by a car, but I closed the door now, so it's good. What the fuck are you talking about? And I mean, this is getting political, but I'm
Gerbert is literally a zoomer, not a sub 5, but struggling. It's truly over for everyone right now, bruh. How to not get in the military though? What do you mean? Are you Ukrainian, or you just live in a country with mandatory service? What kind of question is how to not get in the military? If you live in the U.S., you don't have to. 20.
It is what it is. This is disingenuous because the tech people that are all over Trump's whole thing, they want to import workers very clearly. Like
yeah, that's the thing.
All this new
that's why Gerbert Johnson is a good. That's why I like his channel though, is because he absolutely is an above average looking dude who's struggling to get a faithful woman. I mean, he's talked about sleeping around, which, you know, I'm not a huge fan of that type of stuff, but whatever, do whatever you want, I guess. But he wants a real relationship and can't get one, despite being, you know, definitely above average. So that's why it's a good source for black pill stuff, because it's more grounded than, like, you know, we always assume it's like subhuman looking people. Not that I disagree with the subhuman looking people. I just mean it's more interesting to have the perspective of somebody who actually should have a good chance in the modern dating market saying that things are bad. You know what I mean?
News, it's like a half truth, okay? It's not like they're just completely fabricating things. There is some truth to what is said in the level of comfort that we now have access to in the postmodern world and how it does neuter men. Now, it's one thing to say that these men are dropping out and not doing anything because of it. If there were real gain to be had in the real world, we would not see this level of detachment and escapism from young men. But there is no doubt that it does neuter you, and the world kind of caters in a toxic way to this neat lifestyle. You do not have to go outside. You can order everything. You have all these copes. You can simulate social interaction. It's all there. In any other time, if men were subject to this level of, like, being completely made inviolable, this level of disenfranchisement, I guess you could call it, it would not last long. Like, shit would go down. The only reason this hasn't happened is because of these copes that take men's balls away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. Is that not exactly what I've been saying for years? I mean, it's legitimately what I've been saying for years. The reason why, you know, fucking Chudyard, our boy, Odin's strongest soldier, is wrong is because we have copes. As long as there's video games and pornography, the legion of incels / disenfranchised men, whatever, are not gonna have an uprising. Absolutely not. Yeah. So yes, I agree.
They take away the fire. Let's say you're sitting at a poker table, you don't have great cards, and you find out the game is rigged. What today's men do, and they go, oh no, I'm just gonna keep on folding, and they pull out their phone and they just like doom scroll or whatever.
Please don't equalize porn and video games. Really? All right, please explain. Go ahead and explain. I'm assuming you're gonna defend video games. Dude, it's all a waste of time. This whole channel, you're also a cope. Yeah, this channel is a cope, if that's what you mean. Start, die, restart. That's true. People, fellow black-pilled people, not the normal fags who try to ruin every Doomer hour, but the fellow black-pilled people, listening to me, it is a cope. And I was pretty much right.
In the past, what would have happened when the men found out the game is rigged, they would have flipped the tape. I'm not saying crash out. Here's what I'm saying. While it does
Gamma 2 is better because ski blasts have a higher rate of fire.
In this thing that
okay, well then it's not even a punishment then,
is it? Anything that is
both their supers aren't that good, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
That was promised in the past but is no longer at all promised now. I understand that, but to forego all of that to then just like constantly cope with video games and pornography and this
yeah, he said video games too.
Uber Eats and shit to your house, like you are just building this escapist hell. These things do not make you happy. That's fun for a few months, but it's called repressive coping. The world will catch up to you sooner or later. And well, basically what it is it's just like a roundabout way to end your own life. That's what the constant escapism of being a NEET is. And I don't think that's based. You'd have a hard time convincing me how that's like a base thing to do. Once you realize you're in this position, is you may as well go all in. Like you can have plans, you can do things. You don't need to break your back for people that don't care about you, but you also don't need to game and goon all day. You can build skills that you enjoy. You can just say, fuck it, try things, take risks. There's a whole world out there. There are moves to make. You should always have plan. You should always have motion. You can do stuff. Like the amount of these guys that there are is a lot. In any other time, if there wasn't gaming and gooning, shit would have changed fast. If you find yourself in this position, you don't have a lot to lose if you take risks. And if you don't feel this way, if you feel...
Well, see, that's the only part that I always disagree with. It's like, yes, from maybe a pragmatic perspective, you have nothing to lose. But from an emotional perspective, you can push yourself further to suicide by trying and failing, is essentially, I'd say, the main counter argument to that. Because if it's something you actually care about, like, let's say, this is basically just based on debates I had with my parents when I was younger. But if there is something that you care about that you're too afraid to try, and theoretically you have nothing to lose, maybe the average person would say, oh, the queue fucked up. The average person would say, well, then you absolutely should try it since you have nothing to lose. But if the consequences for you failing at the thing you want to do is spiraling further into depression, potentially maybe making your copes not even work, then you might kill yourself, That's like people, the problem is people who are more optimistic don't look at things that way because they just fail and then they move on. And again, this is the Matthew effect argument, where it's like, okay, but if mostly negative things have happened to you throughout your life, they've just reinforced a more and more negative perspective on the world. Then another failure on the long list of failures just pulls you down even further. So people would rather, sort of like, if you're let's say in the analogy that you're falling into the abyss, if there's a handhold near the bottom of the abyss, People would rather grab that than potentially sink further to the bottom. Yeah, you know, the optimist might say, well, you can grab another handhold and slowly climb your way out. But the more cynical perspective is you reach out for the handhold, you slip. Oh, thank God, my Raider game finally. And then the bottom of the abyss is suicide, basically, right?
Just like completely demotivated, like you don't want to do anything. You're just completely giving up and out of it. I would wager that's because of your habits. Like it's a food, diet, testosterone.
There is some truth to that, actually.
An issue pertaining to that. I really do think so. And if you get all those things in check, you will just naturally feel, as a man, you'll want to do things.
Well, yeah, but wanting to do things and actually doing them are definitely two very different things. I mean, I think, see, the problem with Gerbert is at the end of the day, he is a normie. You know, he might be a black-pilled normie, but he is a normie. So he can't really relate to the life experiences of the completely downtrodden loser because he's not, you know. But yes, he's right that if you got your diet, your sleep, your, you know, exercise in order, you absolutely would feel much better. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I can attest to that myself. But doing things, you know, wanting to do things and doing them are definitely two different things.
And it doesn't have to be cucking yourself out for a system that doesn't care about you. But it should be not just constantly devoting your life to escapism. Like, you can do something. You can build alternative systems. Your attitude, your mind matters a lot. Your thoughts determine your life. Think about things, make plans, have motion. Call me a coper, call me a gay. But here's the thing, you have nothing to lose. So how are you calling me? How can you call?
Again, you always have something to lose. It's your life. I don't like that argument. People kill themselves for a reason, you know? You always have something to lose. That's a cope. I don't like that cope. That's a bad one. Armand Vega, thanks to the 2 months membership. Synth will become a femboy if he can slay humanity. Oh, you mean like Griffith? No. Griffith was a femboy before he slayed humanity, so that doesn't really make sense.
Call it a cope when you're already at rock bottom. If you could just do this and have some sort of fun in a life where you're playing this rigged game, but you're just going at it because fuck it, you're not scared anymore. Because apathy, as I said, apathy is a cover for fear.
There's some truth to that, too.
In a way,
But I would also say that's true for Zoomers, and that's who he's talking to. So I will say he's correct, because apathy is definitely a cover for fear for Zoomers, 1,000,000,000%. But with apathy for someone like me, it comes from experience, from disappointment. Countless disappointment. That's where my apathy comes from. It's not from fear. No, let's watch the whole thing.
Really just still paralyzed by our comfort. You know, like things are getting bad. You can't buy a house. The economy is getting worse, but it's not like threatening yet. I suspect it will have to get actually threatening for dudes to stop constantly devoting their life to escapism.
No, people need bitches. I know people always say I oversimplify this shit. I really think, you know, if the woman problem was dealt with, people would find a way. They'd find a way to fix things.
And we'll actually have to create new systems and be men. I'm not pessimistic at all. I think things will get worse and then things will be better. And things will be better because there are a subset of intelligent Zoomer men who know the problem, and
it's just with you. I can't cue. It's strange.
To not
that
be
is
completely
very weird.
neutered by the internet, and all of these copes they can create.
Half of chat talks like him. Most likely still believe in some of the normie hopecore shit. I'm starting to think only a minority here actually understand the black pill. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't care as long as people don't say stupid shit during Doomer Hour. Unfortunately, there's always a handful of people every Doomer Hour who say dumb shit.
These Zoomer men can create new systems. It's not about like the old.
See, I don't believe this. I'm sorry. I don't think Zoomers are going to fix anything. That's definitely a huge. I should just keep this open because